What's up, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Club 30s with MJ Fangirl. I'm MJ Fangirl, and I'm very, very much looking forward to this episode. If you didn't know, I'm a millennial, and I was around for the whole release of the Invincible album and You Rock My World and all of that excitement. And today's guest was a big part of the You Rock My World short film, also performed with Michael on several occasions, and was a part of so many other pop culture moments with a lot of the entertainers that we all know and love. I'm really excited to talk to him about his time working with Michael Jackson, being a professional dancer, but also about his new chapter and the work that he's doing now as his own artist. And I'm super excited today to welcome Ricko Baird to the show. Welcome.
What's up? What's up? How's it going?
Really good. I'm very excited to talk to you. Because like I said in the beginning, You Rock My World was a huge part of my childhood. Michael, but not only Michael, like so many of the artists that you've worked with, like so cool.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Okay. So before we get into the questions, because I want to tell people a little bit about you. So I'm going to give them like a short little bio and then we can get started. Many of us Michael Jackson fans know him as the adult Michael Jackson lead in Thriller Live or from his work choreographing, dancing for, and body doubling for Michael in the You Rock My World short film, but his journey goes so much deeper. He's an award-winning choreographer, featured performer, and recording artist whose career spans the world's biggest stages and screens. He was born in St. Louis, and Ricko's first professional job was dancing with Aaliyah. He's performed and been a featured dancer in music videos and live shows for legends, including Michael Jackson, Tina Turner, Janet Jackson, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, Mania, Brandy, Backstreet Boys. The list goes on. And today, Ricko, I'm excited to have you here to also learn about your next chapter as a recording artist. His projects, including Summer Rays and upcoming Frequency album, showcase his a unique blend of music, dance, and soul, all written and produced by him. So let's get cozy and let's get comfy and let's get into this episode. So Ricko, as I said to everybody earlier, you're a professional dancer. Man of so many talents. How did you get started as a professional dancer?
Well, I was born feet first, by the way, and just always growing up in a household where everyone loved music, and I was like the little kid that was always dancing on tables, blah blah blah, this and that, and I think it was like a natural gift. That's how it began, and after that. My father passed suddenly when I was maybe 11 or whatnot. And then I kind of got adopted by an actual dance teacher. So I started, to learn all the professional styles such as jazz, ballet, tap, this and that. But it was a natural gift, I think, in the beginning. So that's how it kind of began, was like that.
That's cool. And so you went from, so around that time, I'm guessing that's when you kind of started learning dance. And how did you decide, like, I want to do this professionally?
Well, so I was doing that, and I, did the whole competition thing as a kid, traveling around the world doing competitions and showstoppers. That's what it was called back then. Different sort of competitions and things like that. And yeah, I was like, okay, maybe I'm from St. Louis, but after a while being there, it's sort of like a ceiling. So you have to go abroad to sort of chase your dreams, so to speak. So then I moved to Los Angeles. And because it was either Los Angeles or New York where, you could get your career to the next level or whatnot. So I chose LA, and then I auditioned for Aaliyah. That was my first job. And then after that, it was just a whirlwind of auditioning for all these great artists. And that was the beginning of my.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so amazing. And your career highlights are really amazing. Like you just mentioned Aaliyah, but also Britney Spears, Maya, Neo, Justin Timberlake, Christina, even choreographing for Beyonce with the Green Light video, right?
Just the guitar section.
Okay,
Because
got it.
I just gave her some moves. Yeah.
But that's still
No.
so cool. What was your, I guess, what was the biggest challenge that you faced being in the dance world, working with all these amazing artists?
The biggest challenge was the first day that Michael Jackson came to watch the choreography for the live shows. And we rehearsed 2 weeks prior to him even coming in, you know. So we were like, okay, we got it all together. And this is the day that Mike is coming in to watch everything and see and that. So he came in and everybody was like super nervous. I was anyway. And he was like, yeah, let me see it from the top. And we're like, oh my God, Michael Jackson is sitting right there watching us, you know, do choreography that we're about to do live in Korea and Germany, blah, 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 blah. So we go and here we go from the top and we do it. And the first time he was kind of like, that's good. But I think we can, you know, we got to let the people know why we're here. We need to make our presence felt and strong and da, 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 da. So we're like, damn, maybe we, you know, didn't do so well. So he's like, look, we tried it again. And then second time around, we did it and everybody was going a bit harder. Then he was like, shh, killing it. And he said, that's better. That was like the most intimidating moment of my whole career. All the other people that I worked with was fun, but this one with Mike, it was like I was a bit nervous. Or that day was the most challenging part of my dance career. Was the first time Michael Jackson came to watch us perform Dangerous that we were about to go travel and do on the tour.
Wow.
But
Okay.
he always, for me to be like next to him, I was always next to him. If you see the videos, it was like I was either on the left or the right because we had a cohesive sort of energy together. He'd always wanted me there. So that was, you said challenging. I think that day was the most challenging professionally because I was so nervous.
Yeah, I can't even imagine, especially like I'm assuming that as you were studying dance, you were looking at Michael Jackson too, right? As he was going through his career.
What's interesting is this. My cousin was like my idol growing up. And he used to teach me routines in the basement of my mom's place. And he was into like New Edition and, you know, LL Cool J and The Boys and all this. So Mike wasn't even on my radar at that time. But I knew who Michael Jackson was. He was like the hugest artist. My mother took me to a concert when I was 9, the Thriller concert, 9 years old. And after that, it was like, oh, Mike, everything.
Wow.
I got the shirts, the belt, and then I ended up working with him. So it was like incredible. Yeah.
What a moment like to actually get the opportunity to work with him. And I want to show people because I have this picture because you mentioned earlier that was the challenging moment, but this was for the MJ and Friends concert, which we have a photo which we'll pull up here of you and Michael right here.
Yeah, that's me and Mike. I was the thing. Wow, right there. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. I auditioned for that in Los Angeles. It was like every dancer in the world. It was like 3,000, literally, dancers. The line was like down the street. It was at Marlon's dance studio in Los Angeles. And every dancer on earth was there. So, and Rich and Tone and Lavelle held the audition. And I just auditioned. And that's how I got into that. As far as doing the live show, the MJ and Friends tour. I auditioned blood, sweat, and tears with every dancer on earth, and I made it through.
Wow. And this is in 1999. Like this has got to be one of the most popular jobs that like every dancer aspires to get, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, of course. It was like the line, you wouldn't believe it. The line was like around the corner in Los Angeles, in Studio City, at Marlon's dance studio. I don't know if it's still there any longer, but at that time, it was like the dream job for any, you know, dancer or whatnot. And I made it.
And so I'm assuming there are different levels or whatever. Like you audition first, you get to the next level. Is that how it works? And then did you ever audition in front of Michael, or did like Rich and Tone and Lavelle select?
Yeah, it was more. This one was Lavelle, Rich and Tone. So you audition, and then you know you get chosen or whatever. Boom, 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 and then you rehearse. So I got the job. Now we start rehearsals. So then we'll probably rehearse for maybe 2-3 weeks, which we did at Universal Studios here in Los Angeles. And we'll get everything tight and correct before Mike even comes in. So we'll do like 3 weeks, just the dancers. And then, okay, Mike is coming this day. That's the challenging thing that I was telling you about, because I was nervous. So yeah, so we rehearsed for 3 weeks, like I said, prior to him even joining the rehearsal. And yeah, that's how that worked on that one. Yeah. Then we rehearsed. He came in, broke the ice. Everybody kind of got comfortable, and then we just did it. It was very exciting. And we went to Korea, as you know, and
Munich.
Munich, yeah. And that was like the highlight of my career as a dancer, to be on stage with Michael Jackson right next to him. It was so exciting.
Well, I
dream today.
Yeah.
I know it happened, but it still feels like, wow, it's crazy.
Well, I have to let the people see a clip now that we're talking about it. Our first video clip we're going to be sharing today is just a short moment with you, Michael, the dancers. All right, here's Dangerous from MJ and Friends.
This girl I could not trust. The girl's bad. The girl's dangerous.
Yes. Do you ever go back and like watch these clips on YouTube or no?
I go back and watch it, and I always pause it when he flips me. I like that scene. Everybody, I was like, "Yeah, Mike, touch my arm, man. I'm cool."
That's so amazing.
But yeah, it was amazing. The energy was crazy high. It was beautiful. And I was the only one that could do that flip part. So in the choreography, when you see that, it was amazing.
Just like experience. Physically, like because it's supposed to look like he's actually flipping you over, but do you have to do like a front flip literally to be able to do that?
Yeah. And I felt in rehearsal, I remember him saying to me every time, because I would do it every time because I'm trying to be super professional. So I'm going to flip every time. Some people, we call it marking. So you don't do it all the way full out, whatever. But I was like, every time I did it. And he said, Ricko, I know we're rehearsing, but you don't have to flip every time. I was like, no, I'm professional and it's okay. So every time I did that, and we rehearsed, and it was like concrete floor because we were switching rooms. I remember we were in one room and the floors were really hard because they were doing something to the other room before we went for rehearsal to change rooms. But even still, I did the flip every time, even in rehearsal, every time. So that was interesting. And he said, "You don't have to do it." I said, "No, it's crazy."
And you said earlier, like, that you were always to Michael's direct, like, right or left for the times you guys worked together. Tell me a little bit about that. Like, did he say, like, hey, I want you to be right here, or how did that work?
Yeah, he said, this was in between takes. He said, "I like your energy. I need you next to me so I can feel that, That's what he told me. And that was a personal thing that he said. Really. Wow. And I was like, wow, I can't believe this.
That's got to feel like really good, just knowing, because I keep hearing this thing about Michael Jackson and his energy. So to know that he was kind of pulling energy from you too and putting that into his performance, that's got to be really cool to have heard.
It's unbelievable still today, but you can see I was there. But it was like when you're in the space, you need to vibe and feel off one another, And for whatever reason, I think we had a synergy that matched. So it was amazing.
What's something that caught you by surprise, like Michael comparing the Michael Jackson in rehearsals that you meet behind the stage to compared to him on stage performing full out in front of an audience?
That's a great question. In rehearsal, he's full out, but he kind of, saves something. I mean, he's always on, always on. But when the show comes, it's like a whole nother. So you got to rise to the occasion. Yeah, and that amazed me to be in rehearsal to see this whole process and then be actually on stage and experience that energy and the height of how it shifts from rehearsal to now. Okay, here's the show. You know.
How was I know that so MJ and Friends, I believe so you did Korea and Seoul and Munich. Was there a difference between the atmosphere of the two shows, or did you guys try to keep like the same type of performance level? Or
what was cool was, I mean, they were all Michael Jackson fans and whatnot. So the audience perspective was pretty much the same as far as the energy, give and get back type of thing. It was very similar. It wasn't like a massive difference from Korea to Germany. It was just all love, and they respected it, appreciated the performance. I do remember when we landed in Korea at the airport, and you know how you see all the footage of the people going crazy, and you think maybe I don't know. I experienced that when we landed and walked through the airport. People were just going crazy. Oh my wow, it was amazing. It was really cool.
so you experienced that crowd hysteria.
The MJ Mania.
Yes,
Yeah.
that.
It was interesting to experience that like in person. You know?
Yeah. And
So
I can
amazing.
imagine that, like, because that's something that Michael probably went through for his whole life, I'm assuming.
Yeah. And I got to experience it a bit during that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I wanted
I was going to say, for him, it was probably normal. He's been, doing it since a child or whatnot. So, but to be there and experience that with him was very interesting and exciting. It's great. Mania.
I always wanted to know too, like, what is it like being backstage, like in between songs? And like, is there like a certain like camaraderie between, is it just like very like hectic? Everybody's very focused in their own mind, or are you guys gelling as a team, or how is it?
Yeah. So the other artists that I worked with, it was more loose and fun and cool, but Mike is like very serious, not to the point of unfun, but like a very serious sort of type of thing. Yeah, everybody's just really in the zone, and when it's time to get to work, we just get to work. But it was very focused, you know. The other things were more like fun, kind of loose a bit, and yeah, backstage, it was cool. Everybody was like just really focused in its own. No one wanted to mess up because we realized we're working with Michael Jackson, so there's no time to be kind. So it wasn't. It was just very focused, but still enjoyable. But you have to be on top of your game working with Mike.
I actually love hearing that though, because I think there's like a misconception out there that, that Michael Jackson, like, yes, we know he's a perfectionist, but that there wasn't like intentionality behind some of the way that his shows were perfected. And a lot of people think this just happens, And I love to hear how like regimented it sounds. Like Michael's very intentional about bringing like the best show. And therefore, you guys were also super focused about doing the same.
Really, yeah. And we would do it over and over and over again. If you watch the Dangerous choreography, I mean, it's so precise, and everybody has to be, If you watch that, everybody has to be in sync, and he's very serious about it. And I remember us doing it over and over, even just a snap or a point or it has to, he's very detailed in specifics. I remember that. And that's why I was so nervous at the time.
Well,
That's not.
okay, but does Michael? Okay, so I'm trying to imagine this too because I just as a fan I always want to learn more about like his personality and stuff. Like is there a time when he's like I know you said that he was kind of nice about it when he was like, "Let's do that one more time." But is there a time where
Yeah,
he's like, "No, no, 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 no. This is not working."
he would never be like. He just had a way, like how we'll do, like no, 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 no. But we'll feel that, but he'll just be so subtle about it and say it's real simple, like that's not it. And we know what that meant. Like if he was like a normal person, like that's not it. Do it again. Try again. Blah, blah, blah. But all he had to simply say was, "That's not it." The point and carry on.
That's so funny. As a part of these shows, was there a particular because so I know we showed the dangerous clip, but you were a part of the whole show, right? So was there
Yeah,
another number? Was there another number or another moment in the show that
yeah,
you loved?
yeah. You played Dangerous. That was one. I love Earth Song too, and it was more sort of like acting or whatnot. But the song was so powerful and the message. Um, so Dangerous, Earth Song, and yeah, I'm sure there are clips of that. I don't know if you saw that or whatever, but I enjoyed. Obviously, Dangerous was more like the dance sort of high energy, but I like Earth Song and the message of it. Very powerful.
Yeah, sure thing. And
Well,
I want to ask you about that too. Um, just because that, okay, so Earth Song, at one point, I believe this is in the music show, there was a on stage,
the
um,
bridge,
the
the bridge.
bridge collapsed or it
Right?
fell, right?
Yeah, I was on the side of the stage, like Home Alone.
I wanted to ask you about that because watching it on YouTube, that's the way I've seen it. It
Yeah,
looks like a little unbelievable because he doesn't really break character at all.
yeah, yeah. The thing that saved that was, I think the what was holding the bridge, whatever broke, but it was a slow fall. It wasn't like shh. So it was quote unquote tolerable, I guess. So you saw you if you could see he didn't like you said did break character. He just went back in. It was, so I was like, oh my god, I'm on the side of the stage watching this, and everybody's like, ah, somebody's in big trouble after this.
Okay, so you guys are on the stage, you're watching this, and then Michael goes backstage, and were you able to witness like what happens next? Was he hurt or?
He came backstage and he was a little shaken, but he wasn't massively injured. But he was like, you could tell he was, shaken by that moment. But he wasn't, didn't get amazingly injured or anything like that. But he was shaken up by the moment. I remember that, and I was like, I felt. I was like, "Are you okay? You okay?" He's like, I'm fine. Da, 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 da. But I think it just was more of a shock than an amazing sort of injury type of thing. More shocking. Just imagine you're in the middle of the performance, the bridge falls. He, like you said, he didn't break character. That shows how much of a professional and perfectionist he is. He didn't want to let the audience down. So even if he was slightly injured, which I don't think, like I said, it wasn't serious, he just carried on.
Mm.
And I admired that, for the such respect for the audience and the show.
Yes. I read later that Michael had said that he heard his father's voice in his mind, like telling him, like, keep going, like, let the show must go on kind of thing. I got to figure
Yeah.
out where I read that, but I heard that and I was like, wow.
I mean, I was there, but I never heard like the aftermath. I didn't hear that, but that's probably true.
Yeah.
I'm on the side of the stage ready for the intro. We come on stage like at a certain point in that song, and we're on the side of the stage and saw that, and it was shocking.
Was the energy off the rest of the show or was it like just normal?
Uh, and no, like you said, he's a professional and a perfectionist, so he just carried on. But I'm sure maybe after the show, there was some things happened and some people probably got fired.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Man,
Yeah.
okay. Well, this is, yeah, it's just interesting for me because I've never I've never had the opportunity to talk to someone that was actually there. You know, that's just something that we fans have looked at all the time and been like, what?
Yeah. And it's crazy. I was there, but it still feels like a dream even today. But I was there for sure. And I remember that moment, and it was just like, I remember the bridge falling, but I was happy because it wasn't like, shh. It was sort of like a slow motion fall.
Yeah, and he was able to like get himself up off onto the stage too after, so that was reassuring, I guess, too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey you guys, this is Editing MJ Fangirl here, and I just wanted to stop by because I had to tell you guys about one of the biggest Black Friday sales that's going on and happening right now from Ana Luisa. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you guys know that I love Ana Luisa jewelry. I discovered them a couple of years ago, and ever since then, I've been rocking their pieces. I absolutely love everything they have. Seriously, if you're ready to upgrade from costume jewelry or just want something special, timeless, and gorgeous, gift for someone that you love, Ana Luisa has got you covered. And the best part, their pieces are long-lasting, tarnish-free, and perfect for any occasion. Whether it's a little treat for yourself or a gift for someone special in your life, you really cannot go wrong. Right now, they're doing their Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale up to 30% off, you guys. I've never found jewelry this beautiful and affordable and, like I said, long-lasting. So I just had to share this with you. We're going to get right back to this episode, but if you want to elevate your jewelry game, go ahead and check out Ana Luisa through my link. Trust me, you're going to thank me. Okay, back to the episode.
So this is 1999, and then we go to our next photo that we want to show people, which is one of my favorite short films of all time that you were a part of. And this is
Rock My World.
You Rock My World. So I want to let you know that I am like one of the people, I was like 13 or 14. I watched the premiere when it premiered like on VH1 and the full version of it, watching like, oh, what's this gonna be? Like all that anticipation. I watched it live. You work with Michael in 1999. There were 2 MJ and Friends shows. The last one was canceled. I believe it was Australia that you guys were supposed to go to after that. The third one gets canceled, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we move on to 2001, You Rock My World short film. So how did you get involved with this? Was it also an audition?
Well, that wasn't an audition. And it works like this sometimes. If, you work with Mike and he likes the energy synergy, then you just carry on with him with the project. So I'd already performed with him live. That was prior to the actual video. So because me, Lavelle, Rich, Tone, Trout, everybody was cool. So like, about to shoot a video. Rock My World. I was like, all right. So that was exciting. So I didn't have to audition for that because I had worked with him prior. So it was just like, yeah, he's the type of person that if he likes your energy and you work together, then you develop a comfort. So you don't have to audition new people and figure that whole little thing out again. So a lot of times, you kind of work with the same people because you know what they're capable of, you're comfortable with them, you perform with them. So the vibe is, cool and familiar. So that's how I did the Rock My World. I got the Rock My World from firstly performing, with him live in the MJ and Friends. And then we just carried on.
So You Rock My World, I think a lot of people look at it as like one of the last like real short films that Michael did in his career. Yeah. So what was like the process of filming that like? How long did it take you guys to film that? Was it long?
Yeah, this is amazing. So we shot this at Universal Studios in Los Angeles. The cool part about that video was Mike had the set built from scratch. So, if anyone out there has been to Universal Studios, they have different like sets and lots and blah, 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 whatever, a country set or this or that. He built it from scratch. So that whole video was actually built from scratch, the set. That was amazing. And rehearsals, the same process, rehearse, and then he'll come in. And I remember that. I was still nervous, even though I had performed with him live. It's just always the day that he comes to rehearsal, even after you've been rehearsing, it's still sort of a little nerve-wracking. And we did it. I met Chris Tucker as well, Marlon Brando, and I'm just like, this is amazing. Like Jackson, I get to meet Marlon Brando and amazing comedian Chris Tucker, and he's so funny. In between takes, it was just like that was fun. Rock My World was a fun sort of set and vibe. That was fun though.
And is that okay? So well, first of all, I have another question that I want to ask you, which I think is going to be really fascinating for people to learn about. I think you know what I'm going to ask about. But first, let's watch the choreography, the dance. Is it the dance break? What's the term that you guys would call it?
Which one?
The dance break, where you
The dance sequence.
dance sequence. There we go. Let's watch the dance sequence. For people, just to clarify, because I want people to know, watch you, because I just watched, and for the first time, I'm now watching you instead of just Michael. You had like the baby blue shirt with the flowers, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you're watching the screen, I'm on like the right side, but actually the left side in real time.
So when you watch that, what does that bring to mind?
It's just like, it's amazing. It still feels like a dream, but I remember the feeling of being there. And it was like, I was just so focused and wanted to do a great job. So I wasn't really thinking. I'm just like, shh, shh, shh. It just brings back like wow, all this hard work and doing this and doing that. I finally reached a place and worked with the king of pop, amazing. It still feels like a dream, even though I know it's me and I'm there. I still look at it like, wow, that was pretty cool. And it just solidified and gave me a lot of confidence to say, I went to a Michael Jackson concert at 9, and now I'm in one of his performing them live and in one of his music videos. I mean, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and dancing right next to him, like that's
Yeah.
really cool too. I was gonna ask you about You Rock My World. I know in a lot of times in short films, music videos, there are some unused choreography or some moments that were filmed that we didn't see. Was there anything like that for this?
Yeah, there was there was more choreography to the dance sequence that you just played. But I don't know. I guess, when they edited, Paul Hunter was the director. Um, I don't know why they did that, but there was parts that we did do that they cut out, so they just kept that part. But the choreography was much longer than what you see in the actual video. But I guess that's an editing thing or whatnot. But yeah, there was more choreography than that. But I think they captured the best sort of moments and parts, I think,
All right. So now I have another clip of the You Rock My World video. I want to show this to you and everybody, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Let's talk about this. Here we go. Okay, so that is Kashaya Dudley, who also is the main character in The Girl, and Michael Jackson. We think.
We think. That was me in that. The thing is, I guess one day he didn't show up and whatnot. So the director was like, you know what you got to do, Rick? So I'm like, all right. So I stood in for him that day on a few different scenes. The one you just played, that one. And there was a few other ones in the actual dance sequence, but they're so quick shots that you might not be able to tell. But yeah, that was me. And
That is mind-blowing because I have watched that scene so many times, like over the past 25, 26, 28 years. Wait, say that again?
Did you think it was him in that scene?
Yes. But once you told me that, and then I'm looking and I'm still kind of like, are you sure that's not Michael? Like,
no, it's me.
Okay, so how did you, like, so I have my questions here and I'm like, what was the biggest challenge in matching his movement? Because to me, that is, I never would imagine for even a moment that was somebody else.
Wow. Just practice. Like I said, I live art, I live dance, I live music. So I practice every day, still today. So especially working with him, I would prior to even shooting, just watch all his videos and watch da 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 da, just to make sure I'm on point with everything, because I know what a perfectionist he is, and I'm very similar. And I understand his inspirations, such as Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly, blah blah blah, like the great musicals and things of that nature. So I studied the same thing, so I was able to sort of fit that to my best ability.
Well,
And then that you didn't know it was him, then my job is done on that one.
yes, I'm okay. I have to say, because a lot of people are going to watch this on YouTube and they're going to say the same thing. So comment down below. Like, seriously, you guys, did you know that that was a body double? Because I sure didn't. And I don't think anybody else did, because I've never heard anybody talk about it. And I just have to give you your kudos.
That was me. Yeah, that part was me. And like I said, a few other quick cuts in the dance sequence. But that one that you just played, yeah, that was me. And I was happy to do it. I was like, well, he didn't show up one day, so I got you, Mike, no problem.
Wait, but did you ever talk to Michael about that later on, or?
It wasn't even planned. For whatever reason, we were just on set. And yeah, he didn't show up one day. And Paul was like, come on, Rick, you're the only one that can do it. I was like, all right. And yeah, we did that. So I had to stand in for him for a few of those sequences. Because, when you do videos, you're on a schedule. You're going to do this day, da, 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 da. So for whatever reason, which I don't know, he didn't show up that day. So I just stood in. And that's still amazing today. And I tell people, they don't believe me sometimes.
Well,
I mean, that's how.
Because you did a great job. Like, that literally looks like Michael Jackson. And I'm still shook. And I'm still going to go home and watch this again and be like, oh, how was I fooled all this time? I thought I was a fan. And now I'm questioning myself.
I looked at it like method acting. So I was kind of nervous, but I know, like, I understand his art and movement and things like that. So it wasn't.
That is amazing. I love that. Is there anything else about you? Because I want to talk to you about Thriller Live, and I also want to talk about your career as an artist right now. But before we move on to those, is there anything else about You Rock My World, the filming, that process, that fans would be surprised or excited to know about? Any behind the scenes fun stories?
Okay, in between takes, I was just so happy. Obviously, Michael Jackson, obviously, that's number one. But then I got to meet Marlon Brando, the Godfather, and Chris Tucker, amazing. Everybody know Chris Tucker. But in between takes, he would just be doing like a stand-up sort of comedy on set. I'm just in the presence of great talent. And it was just like, wow, it was really amazing experience. I'm trying to think if there was anything. There was one of the guys, if you see one of the actors, and they were like the bad guys type of thing, whatever. And I remember one guy, he just picked me up and started doing like this push-ups with me. Because he was to the character. He was like, yeah, because it was like we were Mike's boys and then those other guys. Anyway, that's what I remember from that. But it was incredible, amazing experience. And like I said, Marlon Brando, Chris Tucker, obviously Michael Jackson. So it was really great, really.
Very cool. I for one hope that in a couple of years from now, decades from now, that they will release some behind the scenes stuff so we can see more. Because I've heard that Michael's taped everything, or he had everything filmed. Private home movies, we saw some of his personal footage.
Yeah, the thing is, once obviously when you shoot a video, then you have a director, performers, an editor, blah, 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 blah. So, but all the footage also can be captured. And that's like some of the cool stuff that maybe will come out later, like behind the scenes or whatever, to show things that weren't captured in the actual video. But I think they did a great job editing-wise. But yeah, there's so much more footage that you don't see that I got to experience actually being there, So, but I think they did a great job on the
Yes. Well, so now let's talk about what, kind of what comes next in relation to Michael Jackson. So after you work with Michael on MJ and Friends and You Rock My World, then you become the lead as a part of Thriller Live in the West End in London for many years, right? You played the lead MJ. So tell us about that.
Okay, so when we were doing, I think when we were doing the Munich show, there was a girl that I met backstage. She was doing like a journalist type of thing, named Karis Nathan. And I think her partner at the time was like a writer doing books or whatever. So they were really cool with Mike. So he gave them the rights to start this theater show in England. And then she was like, I think he would be great for that, you know, to play him in this theater show. So, yeah, that's how that happened. I went out there, we rehearsed, performing at this theater, that theater. This is prior to the show getting in the actual West End. So we did like loads of shows prior to making it into the West End, you know? And that's how that happened, yeah. It was a young lady backstage that they had a sort of relationship with Mike and got the rights to start this show in England. And they asked me if I wanted to be a part of it. That's how that started.
That is so cool.
But it's difficult. It's like every day. Like I was just used to like, okay, 2 weeks or whatnot, but theater's like every night, pro, choke. I got used to it, but it was like, that was new for me, the schedule of it, you know?
Yeah, yes, I can imagine. And sometimes I get two a day, right? On weekends, I'm assuming.
It's like the weekends, like Saturday is matinee and then evening show. Sunday, matinee and then evening show. And sometimes, Sundays might be a bit slow, so it's not, I don't know, whatever, in the matinee show. But you need that after a while. You need the audience energy so you can, you know? So that was a new schedule for me as far as that. Because normally it's just like, okay, you rehearse, you do the video, you do the live show. But this was like consistent every night. One day off, which was Monday. I love those.
Wait, okay, so this is happening though while Michael is still living, right? Like Thriller Live was. Did he ever come and see the show? Did he ever come to see the show?
He didn't come to see the show, but his brothers came. Tito came. Jermaine came. I don't think all the brothers. I think it was Tito, Jermaine. I have a picture too. I should have sent you that. But his family came to see it. Like his brothers came to check it out. And I have a picture of all of us in the cast. I didn't see you that one. That was my bad. But yeah, his brothers came to see it and check it out. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah,
I was nervous. I was like, what are they going to think about me doing their brother? I was a little nervous when they were like, okay, the Jacksons are here and watching the show tonight.
But did like meeting them, was that cool? They were cool?
Yeah, they thought it was great. Like we talked after the show. They were like so positive and complimentary of the show. I was nervous. I was like, but anyway, they were like, yeah, you guys did a great job. And they remember me from prior, you know, the video and the live shows. It's like, you did a great job. And thank you for representing my brother in such a proper fashion.
Wow. I love that. We have a photo of you. You also went on the international tour.
Yeah. For Through the Line?
Yes.
Yeah, we went to South Africa, which was Johannesburg. Then we did, what did we do? We did South Africa. We went to Abu Dhabi and Singapore, Ireland. Yeah, so many like overseas kind of places. It was great. And the audience is so receptive and they loved it.
Yeah.
It was really fun. The thing I didn't like, Singapore was so hot and humid. Like the theater was like 5 minutes from the hotel, right? So, you know, you would shower, blah, 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 and get ready to go to the theater for the show. By the time you got to the theater, you were like drenched in sweat. So you had to shower at the theater again. I just remember Singapore being very humid and hot.
Yeah.
So
But that's so interesting though, because that was like a portrayal of Michael being done while he was alive. And now you have like MJ the musical. You also have the biopic that's coming up soon. Sorry, go ahead. I know you want to say something.
Yeah, I left one part out. You know, the day he passed, I was performing in Thriller Live.
Wow.
And I'm thinking they're going to cancel the show. So, you know, take a little time to, you know, mourn or whatnot. I had to perform the next day after, you know, Mike passed away. And I was crying through the whole show. Obviously, I didn't, you know, it wasn't blatant to the audience, but it was just, you know, I performed the next day. That was very, like, very touching, you know? And that was a touching moment for me to have to perform the day after, you know. So it was very powerful. I was sad through the whole show. It was just crazy. But then I had a boost of energy because now I felt like I had to represent one of my teachers in the best way I could, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Um,
there's on YouTube about that. I don't know if you saw that, but they interviewed me the day after, you know, he passed away. And yeah, it's on YouTube. Anyway, the point is, it was a very emotional, that show was very emotional. That one,
yes,
obviously.
I can imagine. And then did you do the show for many more years after that?
Uh,
Or was that
maybe like another year. I was there for 3 years, probably like another year or two after that.
That's cool. That's cool. I actually know that probably somebody watching this has seen that show and have probably seen you, you know, because a lot of Michael Jackson fans, they often come and say, oh, I went to that show or this or that. So that's cool.
It's me, guys.
Yeah,
Hi.
he's right here. So I want to talk to you now. I just want to make sure. So I want to show people because now you have made your transition into an artist, a recording artist.
Yeah.
And I want to show people the album cover. This is your most recent album, Frequency. So tell us a little bit about what inspired you to transition into becoming a recording artist.
Okay. Well, even though you know, dance was like the first door professionally, but I've always done music. I was always working on music. My aunt was a jazz musician, and every time she babysat me, she would teach me piano, so I would learn piano. And then I was with like a local talent group, and one guy played guitar. Then I got into guitar, so it was kind of on the sidelines, and there was just like the first sort of door professionally that opened. But I was doing both simultaneously, and then finally, that you know, music is very you got to find your niche in it, and so I think working with all these artists kind of gave me a different perspective as an artist musically. So I would go rehearse, work with Michael Jackson, and then go back and be in my apartment recording or playing or practicing and writing songs and doing that. So they were both sort of going on at the same time. It was just that was the first door. So now it's like, okay, after I work with Michael Jackson, I'm like, what do I do now? So of course, that was always the plan, you know, to be an artist and do my music. After I reached that pinnacle, it's like, okay, let me really focus on, you know, myself as an artist with all this experience and things that I've done. So then I just put my energy all the way into that because I felt like my Jedi training was almost complete. So then I started working on music, and that's how that transition moved. And so I played piano for a long time, guitar, learned how to produce my own music and all the technology. So when I wasn't performing, I was doing music.
So this is all going on in the background while
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were wow. Do you have like a certain message or feeling that you want to evoke from people that listen to your music or
My music is very diverse. The only thing I don't want, like, I hate how people put things into boxes, like you have to be this or you have to be that. So I named the project Frequency because there's different energies and different styles of music. So you can't just say, oh, this is R&B or this is whatever it is. So I wanted to do a project to show people you don't have to be boxed in if you are honest in your expression, and you can do whatever, different styles or whatever. So that's what the genesis of Frequency was.
Yes, I want to play a clip, one of your music videos, because I think it's really cool to hear you like stepping out into the forefront and having your own music and stuff.
I'm a little nervous, but just support me.
Yes.
You just have to, you know, on your journey, you just have to stay creative and just stay rising.
Yeah, and
That's
you have a number of music videos too that I would love to. I'm gonna link them in the show notes so that people can check out your channel that has all your music videos, because I just think it's really cool to see your progression and your transition into your own artist now. And right now we're gonna play Believe. So let's check that video out, just a clip of it.
I got a one-way ticket through life. Come and fly with me to the other side. All I want is you, yeah. Take away my pain, I take away your fears. Together we can paint this fucking picture clear. All I want is you, yeah. All I need is a new truth. All I need is you to believe. Let me touch you, feel you, take your fears away. All I need is you to believe.
Tell us, like, do you have because I know you have several songs that you've released. What do you have a favorite?
I like Believe. I thought that I liked the video. It was very simple, pure, and sort of very in nature and things like that. Yeah, I just do what I feel and try to, you know, do different things and make it colorful and creative and, you know, bright.
Yeah.
Wise, energy wise. And Believe is one of my favorite videos, I think.
Yes,
just the
me too.
Part of it. I like that. What do you think?
Yeah, that was my favorite, because when I saw the list of different videos, I was like trying to think like which one should I include, and I really liked this. I loved the different shots in the video, like the silhouette and the one with you with the electric guitar.
It's about bringing believing, bringing life and light back into the world. You have to do that, give that energy as well. So if you see the flower, that was like the true star of the video. You brought it back to life. You just believe.
I love it. I love that. So do you have any upcoming projects or releases that we can look forward to?
Yeah, I have a new project that I'm working on called Love Alive. I'm still like producing tracks and getting it all together, but that's the new project that I'm working on. It's called Love Alive. And also, you can see the projects that I've released thus far at rickobaird.com. Please check that out. And I've been in the business for a long time and worked with so many different people. So I'm doing these projects kind of independently. So it would be great for all you guys to go check it out. That's rickobaird.com.
Open up your third eye to see the truth. Mama, I'm so cold. Jack Daniels, I'm 100 proof. Been on my future shit lately. None of your haters can't break. I'ma make you all fall in love with me. I'm lit. Mama, I'm on fire. Come give me a kiss. With your sexy eye. You too hot to hold. Baby, I'm funky cold. Never wanna leave you alone. I just wanna take you home. I can't, no. I can't take my eyes off you. You got me feeling so many ways about you. And right now, girl, my heart's on blue. So I wanna get lost in you tonight. Yeah. Can I get lost in you? Haters don't break me, money don't make me. It's true, I'm a gypsy, warrior of the light. I need you, you need me. I'ma put you on to my frequency. Time don't wait, time don't wait, time don't wait, time don't wait. Let's run away and take a chance. Time don't wait, time don't wait. Let's escape. Time don't wait.
Yeah. Well, I certainly am really excited to see what you come out with next. I'll be definitely following along and I'll be sharing anything new that comes up.
Let's do it. Sounds great.
Okay, so this is one last Michael Jackson question that I want to ask because I always ask this to all everybody that comes on the show. What's one thing about Michael, anything about Michael that you know from working with him that fans would be surprised to hear? Anything out of the ordinary that you're like, wow, I didn't expect that?
I got one.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
on my world set, right? In between takes, I seen him do movement that no one's ever seen. You know how you know the moonwalk and you know his pause, whatever. I seen him do some stuff I've never seen him do. I was like, wow, why don't you do that? So that was very interesting. I seen him do like certain movement that I'd never seen him do. It was really like, wow, that's crazy. Really? Well, that's what comes to mind when you ask that.
Yeah. I mean, that's so cool. That's something that I would love to see. I just hope that like maybe one day when I'm like 60 or 70, they'll come out with a special on the Invincible era and they'll show the behind the scenes. And I'll be like, that's what Ricko was talking about.
Yeah, you're going to be amazed. Like, I've never seen that. But it was so interesting. It really was. Yeah, it was crazy. And I was like, wow. Because when you think of Mike, you obviously know that whole amazement. But I saw some stuff that I was like, wow, never seen that.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
To have
Come
been
to mind.
I wish I was a fly on the wall.
Yeah, like I can't make this up, but it was unbelievable to just be there to see, you know. And you can tell people the story, but it was like, wow. I mean, literally movement that I don't think anybody has seen him do, like staple things. And it was just like, anyway, that's the answer that comes to mind.
Thank you. No, I love that. I love hearing that because, yeah, it's just always great to get new information and new perspectives about Michael from those that knew him and worked with him. Last question, just because it's coming up. Are you going to be seeing the Michael Jackson biopic?
Absolutely, yeah. Of course, I'm going to make my way there to see it. I've lived in England a long time, so that accent comes out for fun. Yeah, of course, yeah. Of course. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see how they put it together. It would be interesting. Yeah.
Well, I just have to say thank you so much for your time today. It was super cool to talk to you and learn about your experiences and, you know, not only work with Michael, but just like, you know, just your career. Like it's been so amazing. I wish we could have covered more, so many artists that you worked with. So I appreciate you taking the time out to talk to me today.
It'd have to be the last one.
Huh?
I said we can do another interview if you like. It doesn't have to be. There's so much to talk about.
I know.
You guys, this is Ricko Baird. Work with great artists, especially Michael Jackson, this wonderful interviewer. Thank you for the interview. This is great. Make sure you guys go, please, to rickobaird.com. Support, support, support. I'm trying to carry on in the footsteps of one of the masters, the king of pop.
Yeah.
So please check that out and let's go.
Yes. Support Ricko, everybody. And definitely check out his music. Check him out on Instagram, Facebook, his website, all his upcoming stuff. And thank you guys for tuning into today's show. I hope you guys learned something. Comment down below. You got any other questions about MJ and Friends? Did you know that information about You Rock My World? Wasn't that a cool fact that we discovered? That's like still blowing my mind. I love it. Thank you guys again so much for listening, and make sure that you're watching on YouTube as well as Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. Like, just share out the different episodes that you love, because that's how we get it out to more people. See you guys next time. Bye.